Hey guys, welcome back to Easeldoesitstudio. So as you can see, I have a plethora of stuff on my table. I've been wanting to do this for a couple of years now, and I just haven't got around to it. So today's the day. We are going to try to make crystals. Now, there's like a few videos. Most of them are shorts, and they really don't go into a lot. But from what I've gathered, we're going to do two kinds. We're going to do the borax and we're going to do the Epsom salt. So I've got some glass these are some coffee mugs that are like so ginormous that if you put a cup in, it looks like a quarter of cup of coffee, and I never use them. So I'm like, oh, well, these will be perfect to dangle my things in. This one might have to go in this one. And then I had this vase, so I washed it because it was kind of grody. It had just been sitting. This is just a decorative, like, shot glass, so I didn't know if we might be able to use this. So basically what I've got to figure out, and then we have some pipe cleaners. So let me get this one started first. I've got my tea kettle over to the side here, and that is heating up. So, let me see. I want to try. All right, so what we're going to do, I don't know if by folding them, if that's going to work. So basically, I want this to kind of mimic like a tree. All right, maybe if I twist these individually, I can get them tighter. And then we can piece it together. Now, I know Julie from Pouring Your Heart Out has done multiple different videos on like growing crystals and stuff like that. And that's where I first had seen this. And I'm like, I wanted to do something, but I also wanted to do something different and, you know, kind of put my own little spin on it. And I know the pipe cleaners seem to work really, really well. And I don't know exactly how I'm going to hold the other two pieces. These ones will be a little easier, obviously. All right, so let's just see. Just want it to kind of, I don't know, look like some branches or something like that. Kind of hoping that, you know, maybe we'll get, all right, and then I'm just going to twist this. And I do want to have these be funky shaped, you know, if possible. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to dangle. I'm going to take maybe two of these, and let's get some sort of a stick. All right, so I want it to hang in there, but I also want room all around it. All right, so that will kind of work in this cup. So we have this one done. This one is, it was a bag of shells that I bought at Michael's. I don't know, it's kind of porous, so I don't know if this is gonna work, but I figured this would make, you know, like if this grew crystals, it would maybe be really cool. Now I know you can like put them in flat and the crystals will grow on the top, but I don't know if this is gonna float. Oh, so that, if it didn't float, we could do that, and then there would only be the four corners that didn't have any crystals. All right, we're gonna try it that way and see. If it floats, then yeah, I'm gonna have to come up with a plan B. And then I pulled this out. This is just from a container of sea glass that I bought at the dollar store. And I want to hang this, you know, kind of in here. So I'm thinking I'm going to have to use maybe like some fishing line. I suppose I could even use some wire, but let me just see if I can. We might have to UV this on. All right, let me get a knot started, because then I figured I could just cut the, you know, this off of the rock after. But we've got to get it to adhere to it. And I don't know if UV resin is going to work. But I think we're going to be finding out. All right, let me try and get a knot. In this fishing line. Okay, so that might work just like that. Let me, I'm gonna get a smaller stick. And I just cleaned and reorganized some of my stuff here, so now I'm, you know, looking for it. All right, so let's see if we can tie a knot. Oh. All right, let me get the knot started. This fishing line is kind of tricky to work with because you can't see where you're putting it. Okay. Now I'm hoping the hot water doesn't kind of mess with my fishing line here. Okay. All right, so we have 3 things set up. My next thing is pine cones. I am assuming these are going to float. So we're gonna put some in the bottom. Kind of like that. And then I'm going to pour the solution over it. If I have to, like find something to put over the top of it to kind of hold them down, then I will do that. So those are the 4 things we're going to try to make. I do not have any food coloring. My granddaughter took it all. So I am going to try to use the acrylic ink. I have no clue if it's going to work or not. So how I'm going to do this is, because you have to basically put enough of either the borax or the Epsom salt into the water until it will not dissolve anymore. How much that is, I don't know. I do know that I want to do at least 2 with the borax, and then 2 with the Epsom salt. But then I'm thinking that's not going to be a good comparison, because if I was going to do that, I should do one of these and then one of these with the other. So maybe for today, we'll just use the borax and we'll see how the crystals form. And then I can do another one with the Epsom salts, kind of using the same type of items, because I do have shells like that as well. Yeah. So I guess my water is all hot. You need boiling hot water, just regular water. And I have just my Pampered Chef measuring cup, because it's all household, so I can wash this and it's going to be fine. So I'm just going to, let's see. We'll start with 2 cups, because I don't know how much I'm going to need to cover the pieces. And I don't want to make up like a whole bunch and then have, you know, like what else can I put in here? And I have heard that it does go better with like porous items. So I don't know if the rock, that sea glass is going to work. All right, I'm just using the end of the brush to break this open. And this is just regular laundry booster borax soap. That's all that is. So it's nothing harmful. All right, so we're gonna pour some in. And we're gonna stir until it dissolves. And my understanding is you keep stirring and you add more until it will no longer dissolve. And, you know, you have the borax like at the bottom. Because the more saturated your water is, the better, I guess, it works. I don't know. I'm like, this is going to just be something different. And then we just let it set for 12 to 24 hours. So it is now 4:15 in the afternoon. So by the time I unmold it, it's going to be close to noon tomorrow. So it, you know, it'll be close to 18 hours. Oh, that should be saturated now, guys. And I'm just kind of stirring. All right. So that is definitely, I would say, saturated. All right, I'm gonna, all right, I'm gonna try adding in some of this. It's an ink, so, and it's Prussian blue, and it's water-based, so why wouldn't it work, right? I don't know. I mean, what's the worst it's going to do? Is not work? Stain my cup? All right. We'll just start with that. I'll stir that in, see what it... And if it doesn't work, then we can always drip some regular alcohol ink, like over, you know, over the crystals when they come out. Yeah, and this probably is not going to work because it's kind of a little chunky, but that's okay. You know, maybe there'll be little pieces of it in the crystals. Who knows? Okay, so let's get this one poured. Oh, and I'm going to pour it on the other side because that ink is kind of sticking to the pipe cleaner. All right, and we're just going to leave it. And that's all there is to that one. So either the ink is going to float or it's going to sink, but it is what it is. All right, so we can see how there's like still that borax in the bottom. And that's how I know that it was saturated. It could not absorb and melt any more of that borax. So we're just going to use the same water. And I'm going to... We'll make another 2. I'm not going to color this. I'll just leave it the way it is. And I do have extra water here just because I was like, I don't know how much water I'm going to need. All right, so I just filled that and we'll get that turned back on. And we're going to do the same thing. We're going to pour a bunch of borax. And we're going to stir. And I was going to try to use some plastic containers, but then I was like, I don't want to melt them and have a leak everywhere. You know, and this is my kind of experiment because there's really no measurements. And I like those type of experiments. So, and I'm not editing, I'm just doing everything that you see is exactly what I did. So if it's a fail, it's a fail, and we will know. I've been down here cleaning and trying to get organized. Why is it I can never keep my studio organized? I try and I try really hard and it just doesn't happen. All right, so it doesn't look. Let that settle for a minute. Yeah, we'll put a little bit more. Because I heard the more saturated it is, the better. And then we can also take whatever like crystals form at the bottom of the cup, and then you can grow bigger crystals from those crystals. So, all right, so I can definitely see it's not absorbing any more of the borax. So let's see if this is gonna float. And exactly what I thought. But how about if we did it that way? That'll work. Okay. And then let's get our little, and if this falls and sinks, I'm okay with it. We'll just, because I don't know if it's going to melt the fishing line. or not. So we might have enough for our pine cones. Now I am totally assuming that these pine cones are going to float. So, and I hope this isn't too diluted now, but all right, here we go. All right, so if I can get them, maybe if I put more, then it'll push some of them under and we'll at least get some that are fully crystallized. I don't know. That should work. You know, that way if we have a few that are completely submerged, we might have a better turnout. And these are just ones that I had bought on Amazon. Now this might be one whole big crystal too. I don't know. So we will see when we demold. I'm trying to think. Oh, maybe. This might work. Yes, that's gonna work, guys. It's just a little inlay that I've had that I have not used. Now I put extra pine cones in there and I shouldn't have. Oh well. So yeah, we are just gonna leave these and see what happens. And try to keep that in the middle so it's not touching the edges. But the crystal should form on the outside, maybe a little bit on the inside, but that's okay. So yeah, I am curious to see what's gonna happen, guys. So yeah, alrighty, I will be back in the morning and we will check on these. Obviously, I'm going to be down in my studio later tonight, so I'll check on them, but I won't pull them out. I won't do anything. I'm just going to look because I want to give them every ounce of opportunity to, you know, do its thing. I am going to maybe just to kind of help hold some of the heat in. I don't know. I don't even know if you're supposed to do that. And then, well, we'll just leave that like that for now. Shoot. All right. This one looks like there's already something forming in there. I don't know if you guys can see it or not. If I zoom in, let me see if I can see the little floaties in there. So yeah, it looks like it's doing something, guys. Keep your fingers crossed. All right, I'll see you in a minute. Okay, guys, so I figured I would hop on really quick. This is about 4 hours later. And as you can see, we do have crystals forming. Let me just see here if I can. So we can definitely see on the side of the glass there are crystals, but if you, let's see if you can zoom in, you can see that stone has a lot of crystals on it. The pine cones, obviously, we can't see. And we can see down in there that there are crystals forming, and this is, it was like attached on the bottom. So we've got something going on, guys. I don't know what. I'm sure like once we demold and we add some alcohol ink, we'll be able to see exactly how it is. But I just wanted to pop on and kind of show you where we're at, that there are something forming, so that's a good sign. Alrighty, I will see you in the morning. Okay, guys, it is the next day. It's been about 18.5 hours. So, let's see what we've got. Let me try to... So there's a little tiny bit of crystals on here, but that is not what we're looking for. All right, let me... Now the water did turn brown. Let me just get a few of these out. And I had a feeling I put too many in, but we'll see here. There are some crystals on them, but not many. Let's see here. Oop. Oh, that one looked good. This one looks pretty good. It gives like a snowy, frosted effect, like there's icicles on it. So this one's pretty good. This side looks pretty good, but the other side doesn't have any. And right now the crystals are very fragile. That one's got some on it, but there's not as many as I was hoping. Ooh. So yeah, I'd say the pine cones. Oh, these two are really good. Hang on. This one has some nice... I mean, they're very sparkly. So we got a few, but not that many. All right. So I would say the pine cones, they're a fail. I think next time I would probably use less. We did get some nice crystals in the cup. The only thing is I don't know how to get it out of the cup now. I guess just breaking it out. So yeah, that I don't know. It didn't show that on anything. All right, let me take another paper towel here. And let's just... Let me drain some of this water out. So the jar looks really cool. I mean, that looks really, really cool. Oh, okay. So this one is completely covered with crystals. So I'm going to let these dry out a little bit, and then we're going to maybe put some alcohol ink on them. Just try to sop up some of the some of the water here. I'm just kind of wiping, like patting the paper towel down just to sop up some. Now, I guess I shouldn't have used glass. So yeah, if anybody knows how to get these crystals off, let me know. All right, let's try here our stone. So that part didn't have any stick to it. But overall, there's quite a bit of crystals on there, especially the bottom part. But they're very sparkly. You know, and then I can just cut this string like real close to the crystal. But I might end up making up another solution. So there's a few of the crystals that just fell out of the cup itself. And these do have a hint of that blue color that it's very faint, but we could take, you know, something like this, and it would need to be bigger than that, I think, but we could make some more crystals. So I'll just set that there. All right. This is the one I think is going to be the best, but again, I'm not 100% sure. Oh yeah, baby. Yeah. Holy stamoly, guys. Look at that. That's amazing. I'm just going to break those off. So right now they're very fragile, but after 24 hours, once they're all dried, then they're going to be much firmer. Oh, those came out so good. All right, so all right, I do have a plan for this if it came out good. I'm going to, we're going to end up cutting some of this bottom, but so I wanted it so it's like a base, you know, like a tree. So then what I'm going to do is I'll paint this once it's all dried, and then we can like put it on a display or whatever. But I'm really curious to see and look at the big crystals in the bottom of this cup. And that's kind of what I thought as I was pouring it. Each time I poured it, there was less and less solution. So I'm just going to, let me grab my alcohol ink. I want to try to see if it's going to dye it. Because you know how like we can dye clear like crystals. All right, I just grabbed a blue since we've already got it blue. So I think what I'm going to do first is try it on like one of these. Yeah, that's going to work, guys. So that works. So if you don't have food coloring, I would suggest just letting them be clear, and then we can just dye them with our alcohol ink after. But I figured where it's still soft, it would maybe be the best time so that this really like can soak in. I don't know, that's just my thinking. So on the next experiment, I will have to clean this up. I am probably going to make a batch for each item instead of doing a bigger, you know, a big batch like I did, because this one came out amazing, and this was the first one that we poured. So that is amazing, guys. I was not expecting that many crystals. I totally was not expecting that many. Okay. So that's the experiment for this part. So the next one I'm going to do, I'm going to try the Epsom salt. I'm going to rinse this out, clean this out, and then I'll, yeah, you got to be really careful with these because they're really fragile right now. So I might make up another solution and re-dip this one. Maybe I'll redo these two. we'll make up a solution of the borax and we'll redo these. And then I will do the Epsom salt. And we will try that. I mean, we did have a few pine cones. So, I don't know. I'll see if I can find some bigger pine cones. Maybe the bigger ones would have worked better. But this was also a last pour, so it definitely had the least amount. So I do want to revisit this. But yeah, so that's it for this video, guys. If anybody knows how to clean these, you know, let me know. So I guess what I'm going to try to do for the next one is get plastic. Like there's some big crystals in the bottom down here that I would like to get out. I mean, I don't use these coffee cups, but I could reuse this vase. Because there's quite a thick base on that. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I can knock them off the sides, but... So I'm going to have to find some plastic containers that, you know, that I can use. So, but that's not going to melt. That's the thing. All right, so you already have an idea of what tomorrow's video is going to be. It's going to be a redo of this, but with some of the Epsom salt. And I'm going to re-add these two pieces in so we can see if we can grow more crystals on them, if they'll get bigger. So, yeah. Alrighty, guys. I will see you on the next video. Bye, guys.